If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And
when that happens, or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
You know? Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your...
I don't like nothing about him.
Terence Crawford and Gervonta have been at loggerheads for a while now, and we just never imagined how bad things could be if a physical meeting happened until now.
I got a question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look?
147? Shit, if I tap that trend, you know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know he
ain't got no chance.
I already know he.
It's almost fight week for Gervonta Davis, and while he wraps up his training camp and gets himself ready for his 31st fight and 29th knockout, he and his opponent, Roach, had a behind-the-scenes press meeting where a roundtable interview was conducted between the pair at Brooklyn, New York, around the venue where the fight will be fought. Terence Crawford, on the other hand, has been in New York since Keyshawn Davis's fight against Dennis Baranchik.
Whoever, I told Tank know what's up. You know what I mean? He know what he up against when he fights Shakur or Keyshawn. You know what I mean? He want to fight these guys.
The fight was fought on Valentine's Day at Madison Square Garden, and Terence Crawford was one of the big names present, alongside Claressa Shields and some other top boxers. Ever since, Terence Crawford has been in New York, as he plans to move to Saudi Arabia from there to watch Shakur Stevenson take on Floyd Schofield. Shockingly, Crawford turned up for the press meeting between Gervonta Davis and Roach, and the whole meeting soon descended into a brawl, as Terence Crawford interrupted Tank's meeting after Gervonta Davis confronted him over some of his recent comments about him.
Tank would never even think about to come up to 154.
What about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Crawford admitted to having made the comments and dared Gervonta to make a move. Unfortunately, Terence Crawford made the faster move and shoved Tank Davis before people pulled them apart from each other. Well, here's what really happened, and here's the statement Terence Crawford made that got them into their latest feud. The 37-year-old from Omaha, Nebraska, has achieved more than many fighters dream of since making his professional debut back in March 2008, including winning world titles across 4 weight divisions and the undisputed championship at both super lightweight and welterweight. As he prepares to return to the ring in a mega fight against Mexican superstar Sal Canelo Alvarez later this year, Bud has sent a message out to a reigning world champion that he claims is arrogant.
I just felt like, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around.
Speaking on the Cigar Talk podcast, Crawford addressed his feelings towards World Boxing Association lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, admitting he doesn't like the 30-year-old from Baltimore. I just really don't like that dude. I really don't like him. I don't like anything about him. I just feel like, he's just one of these arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and you know what I mean? He in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that. Bud was then asked if he respects Davis as a fighter. Yeah, he's a damn good fighter. I respect him as a fighter. He definitely got skills, he got power, he got tremendous boxing ability, but like his core personality and his ways, nah.
I'm not talking about no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your neck.
A potential showdown between the American stars looks unlikely to happen anytime soon, based on the current weight gap that separates both. Crawford's last outing came at 154 pounds last August, with his showdown against Canelo set to take place at 168 pounds. The highest weight division that Tank has fought in is super lightweight, although the majority of his career success has come at lightweight. It has been an impossible puzzle for his opponents to crack so far and boasts an unblemished 30-0 record. Davis holds the WBA belt in a stacked lightweight division that is crying out for unification bouts.
Around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that, but in certain situations he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But his core personality and his ways.
Vasyl Lomachenko owns the IBF title. Shakur Stevenson is in possession of the WBC belt, while Keyshawn Davis recently snatched the WBO strap away from Dennis Baranchik on Valentine's Day with a sickening body shot KO. Crawford was in attendance to watch his training partner dispatch Berinchyk and told Fight Hype in the immediate aftermath that Gervonta wouldn't fare well against Keyshawn or Shakur. Tank knows what it is up to, he said. He knows what he is up against if he is going to fight Shakur or Keyshawn. He wants to fight these guys that everybody in the world knows aren't going to give him a fight. They aren't mentally there. They might have a little skill here and there, but mentality-wise, they are not going to be able to keep it up the whole fight. And those two guys, Shakur and Keyshawn, are going to be the ones to give him his first L's.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens? Or is it like...
Both Shakur and Keyshawn are of the same thinking and expressed their opinions on a possible showdown with Gervonta during exclusive interviews with TalkSport.com over the last few weeks. Keyshawn beamed with confidence as he compared a matchup with Gervonta to the beating Crawford dished out on Errol Spence Jr. in July 2023 for the undisputed welterweight crown. I see myself putting the same beating on Gervonta as Terence did on Spence, Keyshawn told TalkSport.com. I feel like his style is perfect for my style. I'm young. I don't think it will go the full 12, but I can fight 12 rounds if it comes down to it. I'm smarter than him inside and outside of the ring. I'm just smarter than him, period. The only thing we are always going to mention is that one punch.
Guys that everybody in the world know they ain't gonna give them no fight. They not mentally there, you know what I mean? They might have a little skills here and there, but mentally wise, they not gonna be.
I have power and I've knocked fighters out with one punch, but he has done it consecutive times. We know he has got that one punch, but we don't know yet what I truly have because I only have 12 fights and I've only been fighting on a truly elite level for 3 fights. This fight will be my 4th against Berinchyk. So, there are a lot of factors that you don't know yet. I am better than I am showing you guys already. Stevenson has been chasing the Gervonta fight for several years to no avail and still doesn't know why it hasn't gotten across the line, although he knows the man who can make it happen. He's the big superstar, he's the big name, the biggest pay-per-view superstar in the sport of boxing, so with him being the biggest name and attraction, it's on him to make it happen. Stevenson told TalkSport.com,
Be able to keep it up that whole fight. And them two guys right there, you know what I mean, is going to be the ones that, you know, give him his first L.
The ball is in his court. I can't say I'm going to send him an offer. Turki Alalshik can. Turki has got the money. I don't have the money to send Gervonta Davis a big enough offer. I don't know why it hasn't happened. He is a weird human being. I don't have much respect for him, to be honest. Davis returns to action on March 1st in Brooklyn against WBA super featherweight champion Lamont Roach. Providing he comes through the fight unscathed, he is expected to fight one of the 3 champions next.
Yes.
Said no chance.
I got round 5.
Yeah, I got round 6.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if
Lomachenko appears to be the front runner at this stage as Davis's team approached the Ukrainian slickster over a fight last year, only for Loma to opt to take some time away from the sport instead. Essentially, the fight between Gervonta Davis and Crawford was an offshoot of what happened at the Ring Magazine Awards in London in January, as Gervonta Davis was one of the notable absentees. The entire boxing royalty marked their presence at the London Ring Awards. However, a few were noticeably absent, perhaps the most prominent being Gervonta Davis. The Ring Magazine Awards ceremony brought together the best boxers of today in London this weekend, with the exception of Gervonta Davis, who, despite announcing his retirement for 2025, his unbeaten record after 30 fights with 28 knockouts places him in the elite of boxing. Tank was probably not invited because he is not on good terms with Riyadh Season and Sheikh Turki Alalshik, who also owns the Ring magazine. It seems the lightweight champion wasn't too pleased about it either, feeling as though he had been left out of the invites. Davis made several posts on his X account, which he later deleted, but Terence Crawford took the opportunity to mock him, which generated a dispute on social networks that has continued until Tuesday. His displeasure quickly followed a series of deleted posts, where he slammed both the organizers and the attendees. Tank Davis might not be on the most favorable terms with the Riyadh Season team. While the reasons behind his absence from the Ring Awards remain uncertain, he did receive a response, one that came from Terence Crawford. The two champions have been at loggerheads for some time, trading barbs and taunts in the past. Reports suggest that Crawford, who recently met with Turki Alalshik, may be inching closer to an epic showdown with Canelo Alvarez later this year. Taking a jibe at Gervonta Davis, Terence Crawford laughed loudly. "I see somebody mad they weren't invited to the Ring Magazine gala. I remember being left out. That's why when they let me in, I crashed the party." Bud Crawford posted along with some mocking emojis in response to the deleted post from Gervonta Davis, but some were rescued by users. Well, to understand why Crawford responded with a taunt, we need to look back at the posts Gervonta Davis shared. Though the posts appear to have been deleted, a few publications managed to update them in their reports. Why they didn't invite everybody, Davis asked in his post, adding, "But they invited people they deal with. Get out of here, stop bum eating." Then, seemingly pointing at Eddie Hearn, he added, "Look at that little rat thinking he came up on something. Now tell them all to fight each other since they have a heavy roster." He continued. Gervonta also had words for Turki Alalshik, first asking them to take the opportunity to fight among all the guests and then criticizing the Sheikh for not knowing anything about boxing. His words seem to allude to the Riyadh season head. They want to act like this guy is good for boxing when he is not good at stuff. If so, why is he not building the people where he is from? This guy knows nothing about boxing at all, and this is who they're turning to. They want to act like this guy is good for boxing when he's not good at anything. If so, why isn't he training people from where he's from? This guy doesn't know anything about boxing, and that's who they're turning to, Tank Davis posted in another of the messages deleted from his X account. Then, he ranted about how, unlike him, many fighters are willing to leave American shores to make their money, but in the end, all they get is a barely countable crowd attending their fights. The dispute between Davis and Crawford continued until Tuesday, apparently because Gervonta bragged to Terence that he had more money. Davis seemingly didn't take too kindly to Crawford's response, and in more since-deleted posts, called out Bud over how much money he makes. "I still make more than you. Y'all think he's chasing greatness. He's not. That's what he has to do to make decent money. The first thing a rich fool tells another rich fool is that he has more money than you. I bet I have more investments than you, and I don't owe $1 in taxes. You can't buy anything that I can't buy and want, sir, and that's a fact. Let's see who has the longest lasting money, smart boy," Bud Crawford wrote to Tank Davis, who responded not to complain, accompanied by some insults. Fans may find this interesting. Last year, during the press conference for the Lamont Roach fight, he shocked everyone by announcing that he would retire from boxing by the end of 2025. If that's the case, many followers might wonder why he should care about such formalities, like not receiving an invitation. Nevertheless, it may not be the first time Terence Crawford took a dig at the Baltimore native. Shortly after he defeated Errol Spence Jr. and became an undisputed champion, the Nebraska Southpaw heard about Gervonta Davis, claiming he could beat him at 147 pounds. Speaking on The Breakfast Club, an unperturbed Crawford acknowledged Davis's prowess in the ring. Nonetheless, suggesting that there are levels in boxing, he played the banter down. And if he comes up to 147 thinking he's just gonna knock Terence Crawford out, he's got another thing coming, he stated. Perhaps a clash between the two American boxing icons may never happen. For Terence Crawford, though, there's only one fight ahead of him, the one against Canelo Alvarez.
Gave a little prediction on the fight, talked about Errol has a metal shield and you have a glass shield. Talk about the punch resistance. What do you think of Tank's assessment, man?
Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis are currently 3 divisions apart, but have competed in the same classes in the past. Crawford kicked off his campaign at lightweight, where Tank Davis is currently a world champion. He became undisputed at super lightweight, where Tank Davis has also won a belt. Crawford has since continued to move up, clearing out the welterweight division before making his debut at 154 pounds last year. Davis remains back down at 135, holding the World Boxing Association world title and knocking out all comers. The big hitter from Baltimore has said he would knock Crawford out in the past, perhaps tongue-in-cheek, but the bigger man has warned him not to punch above his weight.
I mean, you came up from 35, right?
He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
So, okay. What about, everyone's talking about Errol fighting the winner.
Whilst a fight is highly unlikely to ever take place, some believe it wouldn't be a foregone conclusion. In an interview with Real Life Productions, multi-division world champion Roy Jones Jr. said, "That's a good damn fight," clearly believing it would be competitive if the pair met just underneath the welterweight limit and giving Tank a good chance due to one reason. "I don't see anybody around that's gonna beat Bud, unless it's somebody way bigger than him. But don't sleep on the fact that if he and Tank fought at about 145, that's a good damn fight. You understand me?"
But Crawford, on the other hand, I don't see nobody around that's gonna beat Bud unless it's somebody way bigger than him. But don't sleep on the fact that
because they both have very high IQs and Tank is very explosive. That's the one thing that Tank got that Errol Spence didn't have. In boxing, an explosive fighter can go a lot of places. I was only able to cover the weights that I covered because I was so explosive. Explosiveness keeps people in check. The two Americans will continue their campaigns separately, with Crawford chasing a fight against super middleweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez that would require a 14-pound jump, and Tank out in March against Lamont Roach Jr. before, according to his latest press conference, retiring at the end of the year. Meanwhile, Tank fans can look forward to his upcoming clash with Lamont Roach Jr., which is scheduled to take place at the Barclays Center on March 1st.
if him and Tank fought at about 145, that's a good daggone fight. You understand me? Matter of fact, that's a good damn fight. You understand me? Because they both have very high IQs, and Tank is very explosive. That's the one thing Tank got there.
While Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is the fight that looks set to be made, Gervonta Davis has now inserted himself into the conversation.
Crawford and Canelo have reportedly agreed a deal for the mega fight to take place this year, bringing together two of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. The fight is believed to have come together after the pair met separately with Saudi chief Turki Al-Alshik in London over the weekend, after a year of back-and-forth discussion over whether or not it will happen. While most in boxing are excited at the prospect of seeing Crawford and Canelo square off, it seems that another of the sport's biggest stars isn't that impressed.
If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you would take all that money that he's offering you.
With Davis apparently not a fan of the fight between Crawford and Canelo, his coach Calvin Ford has also delivered his verdict for how the fight will go. The debate over who would win between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford continues to rage on. The fight would be one of the biggest in boxing, putting together two pound-for-pound greats, although it would require Crawford to make a huge jump up in weight. Gervonta Davis's trainer Calvin Ford has now had his say on the potential matchup when speaking with Fight Hype and appeared to be leaning towards the Mexican.
This Terence Crawford Canelo situation, do you think that's a fight where they could get to a weight that makes sense? Do you think that the weight would affect Terence Crawford?
I mean, Canelo is the king. Whatever he say, you know what I'm saying?
Canelo is the king. It's a good fight, and I'd like to see that fight and the outcome of it. Canelo has been making some good moves for his fights. Ford also discussed the performance of Crawford in his last outing, where he moved up to 154 pounds to defeat Israel Madrimov, but was unable to get the stoppage. It was his first fight. You can't say he didn't carry the power up there. He had to make adjustments. It's like when Benavidez went up in weight. It's based on them making adjustments. I hope Terence Crawford can get another fight at that weight so he can show the world it's there. If it's not there, then we can start questioning.
But it's a good fight. I like to see that fight, the outcome of it, you know what I'm saying? And then watching Canelo been making some good moves, as far as fights and whatnot,
And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.